You are listening to a podcast of the Geek IO Media Network. For all of our shows and more, visit geek-io.net. And to help support the network, head over to patreon.com/geekio.
Hello, gentle listener. While Geek IO holds its talent to the highest standards, what follows will likely involve the sort of language usually reserved for sailors on leave. If you're a fidelicate, perhaps you would consider a different podcast.
Geeking out across the globe. Hold on to your butts. It's the Geek I.O. Show.
The Geek I.O. Show.
Yes, indeed, friends. Hello and welcome to the Geek I.O. Show. This is episode number 228. I am your host, CJ. I'm obviously getting sick, so I'm trying not to blow up my voice boat.
And I am Raul. I am sick and tired of this cold Garza.
I'm Dale, sipping on my juice box, Campbell.
And joining us, the one, the only host of the Sometimes Geek Podcast, a weekly short-form gaming news and recap review podcast, Jerry Graziano.
The secret is I'm always a geek.
Oh,
Then
there you go. Plot twist.
Then your show name is a lie.
A little bit.
How are you?
I'm good, guys. How are you guys doing?
Not
Pretty
too
good.
bad. Not too bad. Obviously, getting over bullshit 37-degree Florida weather. Looking at a game on Steam called Genital Jousting.
No, CJ.
Wow, we're already going there. All right, good morning.
I have seen the Let's Plays of this thing. Oh my God. How? I mean, it's... You can play it on Twitch, apparently, because it's not part of their banned games, or is it?
I don't know how it wouldn't be.
And
I
that's...
mean, it's not banned on YouTube, so
I don't understand how it wouldn't be. Like, literally, you are a bunch of fighting dicks. Like, I don't understand.
it's...
Oh, so it'll work really well on YouTube, apparently.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Oh. Who's the
As long as
publisher
I'm
behind that?
shouting racist terminology at people, and it'll be completely good. In fact, we'll gain like thousands of subscribers on YouTube, and then we might be able to get monetized on YouTube again.
I can't remember. Is that Devolver Digital?
I don't know. Hold on. I'm not at all on Twitch or on Steam, because that would be responsibility of me. Genital Jousting now available. It is Freelines developer, publisher, Devolver Digital.
Okay. Yeah, I saw their panel at, not their panel, but their booth.
Those who
PAX.
don't know, that's the Hotline Miami and Broforce people.
And Enter the
Hey,
Gungeon.
Enter the gun.
so what does Penis Jousting's booth look like?
No, just Devolver Digital. Who they do a bunch of. They are a very unique game company. Is this just The Sims with penises? I'm confused.
No. It's not The Sims. It's actual, like, mini games that's like... Oh, I can't describe it on
Oh,
Twitch.
Jesus, that dick just got hit with a car. What the fuck?
They're like one of the bigger indie game developers. Because they're still able to experiment with a lot of their ideas without being tight down.
Genital jousting.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Oh, they also did Broforce.
I said that.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I don't listen to you in Slack.
Drink.
So, yeah. It's been a hell of a week.
It has been, man. This week has been so weird. Like,
It really has.
I don't understand what the hell's happening this week.
Global warming.
Yeah. I'll go with that. Climate change. If the fact that it is warmer in Washington State than it is in Florida right now doesn't indicate that there's something fucked up with our climate, I don't know what else to tell you.
I mean, here where I am, it went from 111 degrees on Monday to currently sitting at 77 today. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Tuesday, we were in the high 60s, and then that night we dipped down to like 25.
Yeah, and then I think it was Monday afternoon we hit like 65, which is unheard of for winter out here.
Jeez.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine the places that, like, it doesn't get above freezing for like 2 months. Like up there in Michigan and all those, New York. Yeah, no thank you for that weather.
Yeah. Now for sports, Dale.
Well, with the sports department, we've got the AFL, and it's the most complicated game in history. I don't know anything about it. Now for Star Science with Rail.
Yes. Science? What was I say? I want to talk just a little bit about sports. Anyone here saw Vikings game? Vikings and Saints.
I actually did. I watched that game actually.
It's like the most talked about thing from the week of football.
Because it was actually a really good game. Like, and I just was on terrestrial television, and I just happened to have the game on because why the hell not? So I didn't pay a ton of attention to it. I was kind of weirded out that the Saints lost. I mean, that was weird.
Ooh.
For Dale, that is the team out of New Orleans.
Okay.
New Orleans is a state in the United States. It's in Louisiana.
It's not North Dakota, so South Dakota aren't the one state?
No, it is not the fact that South Dakota
that isn't Missouri or whatever I missaid a couple of weeks ago.
It's pronounced Missouri.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, the people I used to work with someone from there, and they always like, oh, it's Missouri, not Missouri.
Okay, can we get a judge's ruling on how to say New Orleans?
It's New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not New Orleans, it's New Orleans, or Nolans if you're from there.
Nolans. That's I always get confused if it's Nolans.
But it's never Leans. It's always Lens, like lens kind of thing.
New Lens.
Yeah, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
All right, keep working. All right.
That's gonna be an inside joke.
It's pre-show joke.
Yep.
Pre-show joke.
All right. You know what else is a pre-show joke?
What?
Gadgets, games, and gizmos.
That made no sense, CJ.
I'll start because I haven't actually done a whole lot this week. It's fucking cold in Florida. So weird to have it be so cold in Florida. I'm from Ohio, so I'm used to the cold, but I've been in Florida now for almost 10 years. So like I've gotten to the point where it still kind of really sucks when it gets cold here. And yes, 20 degrees is cold, regardless of where you are. Shut the fuck up, Northerners.
Yeah, I saw a picture from Florida where they had like a fountain that was just frozen.
Yeah, like the county north of me was snowing today. Like that is beyond bizarre. Like this, I live in a tropical fucking climate. It should not be snowing anywhere near me. My friend went to Disney this last week though, and it was flurrying there when he was out late at night at the City Walk bars, and he was losing his shit because he's from Pennsylvania. What do you mean it's snowing here? Why the fuck is it snowing here, Steve? I'm like, dude, I can't control that shit. What are you talking about? What are you yelling at me for?
We got snow like a week before Christmas. And then it all disappeared.
Newly white Christmas.
So other than that, there's a group of games from Idea Factory called Agarest Generations of War, and I've been looking at it for a bit now. And it was on sale for the midweek sale on Steam, and I got the entire package for like $9. And it's a strategy RPG. So along the lines of Final Fantasy Tactics and stuff like that, which I love. And so far I'm playing technically the prequel, but I've never played any of the games before. So it's the first game in the list for me, Aragrest Zero. Which made people pissed off, the fans of the series pissed off because it's a prequel. I'm like, I don't know any better, whatever. I'm going to start off with Star Wars Episode 1 because I'm dumb, and I'm sure a bunch of the stuff would go over my head. That's going over my head in the storyline would make sense if I played it, but oh well.
I mean, typically.
But it's a real fun game. It's not as deep as Final Fantasy Tactics, but I have yet to find a game as deep as Final Fantasy Tactics. Like, that game is 30 years old and still a classic for a reason. Like, that game, lightning in a bottle. Square Enix just needs to keep releasing Final Fantasy Tactics games, and they haven't been, and it makes me mad.
Let's see. The last Tactics game from Final Fantasy was, I think, War of the Two Lions.
Well, that was just a remake of Final Fantasy Tactics. The last, original game of it was Tactics Advanced 2, and that was for the Game Boy Advance. And it makes me real sad that there has not been one since then.
Yes, because Nintendo needs to name everything after the console.
Yeah. There was there was the Final Fantasy 12 one that I never played because I hate all things Final Fantasy 12, so I didn't pick up that piece of garbage. But this is a fun little thing. It's 3 games. It's $10. So I mean, I'm enjoying it so far. It's decent enough for a Final Fantasy Tactics clone, so we'll keep playing it. And after the clusterfuck that was me getting technical problems set up solved yesterday on Liquid Handicap, I decided to drink the Cuphead some more because I hate my liver.
A couple weeks ago I tried that and I paid for that.
Thankfully, I did the intelligent thing, and even though I pounded through my drink, I went and my second drink was tea because I was starting to feel the thing that I'm dealing with right now. So had a full cup of tea as my secondary round of drinks because fuck that clown boss.
Was it as bad as the Rocket League drinking game?
No, my friend, you
shit.
Fucked yourself over on that one. I don't know why.
What did you do during that Rocket League game? Every time you scored or every time you missed the ball or what?
There's rules. They're on my desk here somewhere, I'm sure. But the short of it is, it's every goal, regardless of who scores. It's the first 3 games. When they end, you have to take a drink. And then thereafter, every game you lose. And of course, I suck, so I lost a lot. And there was some other ones in there too. You get a drink token that you can cash in if you save a goal. So you get a drink rain check. Yeah, that was a tough time explaining that. If you score an own goal, you have to take 2 drinks.
Jesus.
And every time you get blown up, you take a drink, which me versus bots was... I think it happened twice. That did.
This was a game you created, or is there a list of these rules online?
It was a culmination of rules that I found on a subreddit. And the subreddit is something that I can't remember, but I just had a wild hair to
What
Google.
is it, like /alcoholic/video games?
Alcoholics Anonymous. Yeah, I got it from the Alcoholics Anonymous subreddit. That joke. That's distasteful even for me.
Just replace mouthwash with.
Right.
Oh,
Drink your juice, Dale.
Someone's gonna screen cap that photo of me drinking a sippy juice box, sippy box,
Zippy box.
zippy box. Zippy
Yeah,
box.
the thing with Cuphead, CJ, is that it's a hard game, but it rewards you for keep playing at it because you keep learning.
I really love the game. Like, all joking aside, like, it is such a great game. And I like difficult games. So I mean, it's right up my wheelhouse. Like, I freaking love the game. It's and so, like, me grumping that I am doing stuff in it. Like it's real good, and I really enjoy every second that I play of it. It's so hard.
The one thing I wish it had more of, though, was those side-scroller levels, and I know a lot of people kind of crapped on them, but I was a huge fan of Contra growing up and stuff like that, so
Yes.
I would have loved way more of those levels, not just the boss rush.
Yeah, there's so many, like when you enter in freaking World 2, like the entire level is just like the first 3 levels that you can do, and this is just the Zerg rush, like or the boss rush. Like there's no shoot 'em up levels until later on in the level, which is dumb. Also, Nexon, why is your site garbage? We might not be able to play Hyper Universe this weekend.
Why do we need to make a like
Nexon account, and like they're famously bad.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were transitioning the show. Now on, why is your website so bad?
I mean, no, Nexon is the company of is a Korean game maker, and their site's so dumb. All right, there we go. I think I got it. Jeez, that was more trouble than it's worth. For this.
Talking about Korean games, I remember a while back I started playing a golfing simulator game by a Korean developer.
I crap on Korean games, but like I'm playing, was it Black Desert Online?
Yeah,
It's real good. Like it's a really good game, but it's Korean as fuck, man. Like everything is a grind in it. Because Koreans don't have any other things better to do than just grind games, apparently. And as seen with the Overwatch League, man.
I haven't seen any of those matches, but they integrate the Overwatch League is live into the Overwatch client.
It's I've watched the Florida Mayhem games because I'm biased. But like, and it's crazy watching these games. Like, it's so insane watching these games. Even though the Florida Mayhem sucks, like I'm just full in on them. I was gonna pitch to like Andy about doing a Sports Center kind of thing for it, and then just realizing that both his and my teams suck. So it would have been just us kind of doing a misery drinking stream every week.
At least you had a team. Washington didn't get anything. No Seattle team, and we have freaking Microsoft here.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah,
That's
how
so
was it that Seattle didn't get a team? I mean,
It's the same reason we don't have a basketball team or a hockey team.
Because everybody hates Washington.
You guys don't have a basketball team? That actually legitimately surprises me.
well, no, they had a basketball team called the Seattle Supersonics.
Yep.
But they moved to Oklahoma and renamed themselves the Thunder. Right?
And Oklahoma couldn't found their own team because
It has to do with something that you can only have a certain number of teams and
Yeah, some bullshit like that.
cities. But meanwhile, California has a dozen different sports teams.
right, they have like 700 football teams apparently,
And all of them are good at everything that they do, as seen with the fact that the LA what's-faces are the top of the league.
What's the faces? I want them to be I want that to be the sports team.
Yeah.
What's the faces?
Hell, Texas, I mean, we have, 3 basketball teams, 3 football teams, and Lord knows how many baseball teams.
Right?
Don't follow baseball.
I follow the Florida teams. So the Rays, except for basketball, because I don't like basketball. I'm sorry. It's not my thing.
I like basketball, but that's mainly because I have a previous history of netball. So
Welcome to Sportscast with CJ, Dale, and Derek.
wow, today's special guest is...
This is the most I've talked sports ever.
I know, right?
So yeah, other than that, and now trying to load up this stupid Hyper Universe game for games on Sunday. Yeah, I've had a very weird, busy week with real world crap. So, Derek, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been sick too. So basically was vegging on the couch anytime I wasn't at work, which actually worked out because I picked up a Steam Link on the Steam Winter Sale for like $5. So
Yeah, 'cause nobody bought those things at full price. So
No, and I wasn't going to. I figured $5, why not? And it just happened to work out on the timing that I was sick, so I got to use it.
How's it run? Like, I have one. I've never used it. So
it's not bad. I've got everything hardwired, so for that, it's pretty good. I've been playing a little bit of Resident Evil 7 on it, which I don't know if it's just my computer bogging down or if it's the Steam Link trying to keep up with it. So I run into a little bit of glitching here and there, but other stuff like Enter the Gungeon, which is like a lower poly game, that stuff runs perfect.
okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just been medicating and playing Resident Evil and Gungeon. So
Cool.
Like, Resident Evil 7 is an amazing game. From what I've seen streams of it. Horror is not really my cup of tea.
Says the guy who played through all of Doom.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't call that horror.
no, it's definitely got a different feel than Doom. I'm still
Yeah.
kind of on the fence on whether or not I like it. I think I put like 3 hours into it.
Oh, okay.
It's
It is a bizarre game. Like, I've beaten it because for some reason I like scaring the crap out of myself or crapping myself. It's real good if you can get over what it is.
Mhm.
Like,
yeah, it's a lot of the weird mechanics and
yeah.
the trial and error parts of it. I'm not a huge fan of.
Yes, there's a ton of those. And this one, thankfully, is a little bit more forgiving than previous installments of Resident Evil. For if you mess up something, it doesn't completely hose you over later. I had to restart Resident Evil Nemesis like 4 times because I missed a certain item, and I didn't collect some ammo. And by the time I get to a certain point, like you have to empty a clip, and if you don't have anything else, you're done.
Yeah, and with 7, it's like, is that supposed to happen? What's going on? Oh, okay, I get to do it a second time.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, 3 hours in, then you've already. Ooh.
I'm basically stuck at the first boss.
Oh, okay. The garage fight.
The pit fight.
Oh, the pit fight. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I forget how I beat that boss. It's been a bit. I played the hell out of it when it came out.
And they have the VR experience for it.
Nope.
We know, CJ, you can't handle VR.
It's not even that. There's no fucking way I would play that game in VR even if I could.
It's a morbid curiosity. I would look into it, but I don't know if I would ever play through all of it. It'd be like the first scene where the guy just bursts through the wall and chops your leg off, and I'd be like, all right, done. Throw the computer out the window.
Yeah. There's no way. So how you liking is this your first time playing Gungeon or?
I had played a little bit of it when it was like right after it came out, but another podcaster I recently did an episode with, he got hooked on it watching my Extra Life stream, and so that's since gotten me back into it. I am shit at the game, but I love it.
Yeah, I get that. Like, I love platformers. I'm not very good at them, but if you design a very good platformer, I'll play it. Like Super Meat Boy, I can only get up to like stage 4 or 5.
Yeah. Game's on the Switch now.
Yeah, I'm not huge on the bullet hell games either, but Binding of Isaac I was a huge fan of, and Rebirth and Afterbirth. Like, I've played through all the different characters and all of that for it and had no problem with it. For whatever Gungeon, I get like to the 4th world now and just completely shit the bed on it. Like, just for whatever reason, it doesn't click in my head for the dodging and all that.
Yeah, those are the kind of games that I have Gungeon purchased. I just can't. Like, that's a game that I just can't play. I don't have good enough reflexes for that shit.
I think the furthest I've gotten in that is probably halfway through the 2nd world, maybe. But yeah, there's just so many secrets and things that are. It's like Binding of Isaac. Mm-hmm. It's like, there's a secret here, but I don't know how to get to it.
Well, I finally started looking that up because I got tired of, I believe it's on the second world or the second level, finding that just empty, can't even think of what it's called now. Basically, the little cemetery that just you find a little platform that says basically do nothing on it. And finally, I looked it up, and it's like all these steps to find this one item that you have to perfect run through to get it. And it's just looking at how many different secrets are in the game. It's really cool, but in the same breath, it's like, yeah, there's no chance in hell I'm doing any of this. I'll be lucky if I finish one character on it.
You been up to anything else other than being sick?
No, that's been pretty much it.
I feel you. You get to pick who goes next. It's gonna be a really truncated show since we don't have any of the normal big talkers on.
Let's go Dale, since he's below me on my screen.
Oh, hey. Oh, well. I'm a sucker for a good bargain. Who likes a good, hot, delicious bargain?
Bargains are nice. It's the reason why I bought Argrist War for $9.
That's why I got a Steam Link.
That's why you got a Steam Link. There you go. So there's this app. I don't know if it's just Australian based. I haven't really looked too much into the specifics of it, but it's called Wish.
Oh yeah, Wish is a thing.
Oh, okay. Wish is a thing. Wish is a thing. Did you wish it was a thing? Anyway, I will stop with those jokes.
Yeah, cheap Chinese crap off it. For sometimes it's real good. Like my microphone stand is from Wish.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I like Wish. If you can wait 2 weeks on it, you might as well get a $50 thing for $2. Sometimes it'll be great. Sometimes it'll be hot garbage. But for $2,
right? For $2 plus shipping, you don't really know. Yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
Right, it doesn't really matter. It'll get used for something. Like that Microsoft stand. Wow, if that microphone stand was hot garbage, you could just use it as like a coffee tackle or something, right? You just put something on it.
Totes. That's how that works.
Yeah. Hang on. All right. So I'm waiting for a few things. I've ordered a few things. Like I've got a few little knick-knacky things coming. Like I desperately need a USB hub because I'm outgrowing myself with this computer that I have. This shell of a laptop that I try and work from. And then I've ordered like clothes and stuff like that, Chinese stuff. And because I'm like, I have
clothes and Chinese stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna from last week. I go back to last week. I'm lying. I ordered spandex from Wish. I'm not gonna lie. So it's good. And again, like CJ said, if you don't mind ordering $2 low quality goods and waiting 2 weeks for them, then Wish is probably your thing.
Yeah.
But I don't. I'm like, if it gets here when it gets here, I suppose. Wow, I can't talk today.
You buy it, you completely forget about it, and when it comes in, it's a nice surprise.
Exactly.
Right.
See, I kind of want to couple that with drinking, and it would just be like the greatest drunk Christmas ever.
No, never mind. Okay, we'll drill down on this. What do you mean by that? Like waiting 2 weeks to feel the consequences of drinking too much?
No, just so if you've never heard of Drunk Christmas, it's where you just get completely blitzed, go on Amazon and buy stuff from your wish list.
Yeah.
And then it just shows up when you're sober and you forget all about it.
Oh, well. Guess what I'm doing this
drinking and going on Wish.
Right after, luckily I hadn't had it right after that.
Let's live stream Dale doing that.
Let's not. Actually, I'm pretty sure you could go back to the archives on Twitch and watch that if you really wanted to.
Yeah. We're going to give Dale a $100 limit, and then we're going to get him plastered. And then he's just going to go on. Yeah, see what comes in.
I literally live right, like, I'm on the same street as a pub. I could walk, like, a minute and a half, and then I'm literally at the bar.
Oh, no, this is going to be a Dragon Con bit.
Oh yeah. Dragon Con bit. All right, well, hey, good morning. So, that's good. And I'm still making my way through Please Like Me. That's Please Like Me. Just making sure I don't say 5 different titles of shows on the air this week.
Please don't like me, maybe.
Pretty please don't like me.
Please, please, please me.
Please
What?
call me, maybe.
So can do no wrong. You shut your dirty little mouth.
Jeez.
Oh wow.
Apparently, I have offended Dale's waifu.
Yes, yes, you have.
Didn't know that was possible.
She even had 2 studio albums, and that's where you go.
No.
Yeah. Question mark. Keep working? Question mark.
Hey, Dale, you know what we should do with that guy? We should kill him.
Oh!
Okay. All right.
You should put him in Wolfenstein 2. Hey, Ra, what have you been up to?
Oh, I wasn't here last week.
No, you weren't. I had to do the live stuff, and
What were you doing last week?
I was at PAX South in San Antonio.
Slacking. Is that what you were doing? You were slacking.
I was getting horribly drunk.
You were slacking.
then you should have came on the show and made it infinitely better.
I listened to the show, and oh my god, guys!
It was a great show.
Yes,
Great show.
But yeah,
Lots of ass.
so PAX South. I got there on Thursday, and we spent like maybe 30% of the time at Dave & Buster's
Nice.
because it was just drinking, eating, and playing games.
That's fantastic.
And
That's the one thing that kind of misses from Dragon Con, unless you go to the like the thing at Dragon Con, like there's not like a good arcade there.
Did that video ever? I was about to say, did that video of you and I, CJ, ever get surfaced? But I better retract that.
Whoa.
That video...
Yeah,
that kind of show.
it gotta rise out of somewhere, that's for sure.
He wasn't just sipping on a juice box.
Hang on, yeah, well, you need to. I need a refill of that. Did that video of us two on that? I can't even
On the
remember
drum
what it was
thing?
called.
No.
Yes.
It was just on Facebook. It was just on like private Facebook.
oh,
That's a damn
but
shame, dude.
but yeah, that Thursday PAX hadn't even started yet, and we were already going hard at
Having
it.
fun.
Yes,
Right.
we were having
Delbert
fun.
And I are going to be going to PAX East, and I'm excited to get Delbert, which will be his first real con to go to PAX East. It's going to be
Ooh.
fantastic.
Then Friday, I got sick.
Like you do after PAX.
No.
Hang on. I want to throw you under the grill, sir. You didn't get sick. You got hungover. Let's not sit around bullshit. Let's
Thank you,
not.
Dale.
Called the fuck out.
Do I need to get harder for you?
Bus plus row equals Dale win.
No. Yeah. Well. Okay. I'm sorry. That
So
was a bit of a
yeah,
low.
the convention itself, it's not that big. I mean, Twitch didn't go. But
Really?
we did. Yeah, Twitch did not go to PAX South because I mean, I think they might be pulling out of the smaller places because they have their own convention now.
Yeah, but even at PAX West, because I've been going to that one for a decade now, they took up like half of one of the show floors with just their stuff.
Well, I mean, Seattle is their major market.
That and, West Coast, LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they weren't there. Mixer was there.
Of course they were.
Yeah. Mixer,
love it.
Discord,
I love you,
Devolver
Mixer.
Digital. But South it seems like a lot of it was indie stuff. There was not very, like, the biggest booth I saw there was probably the Monster Hunter World booth.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you had your Minecraft actually had a panel set up in the middle of the floor of the show floor.
Wow.
They had OMG chat running that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's see what else. They had your competition, your board games, all that stuff. But it feels a lot chill. Like, I mean, the only thing I have compared to is Dragon Con.
Yeah. And even PAX East is like not as massive in scale as Dragon Con is.
Let's
Then
see.
again, it's only one convention center as opposed to 5 of the largest hotels in the area,
Right.
Yeah.
plus the huge S mall.
Ugh.
But yeah, I tried out some new games. There's this one that feels a lot like Ninja Gaiden,
Okay.
but that shifts from an 8-bit and then like fast forwards to the future and in 16-bit.
Huh.
So it's kind of like you're in 16-bit now and you go back to the same areas and like, oh, the bridge is different or there's a secret area here. But
Huh.
there was some other smaller indie developers. There was one game that I played that's like, oh, this is your first game, isn't it?
Oh.
No, I mean like very first. Like they just got Unity like a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
That sucks.
Yeah, I mean they had one table and 2 TVs and that was it.
That's fine. I mean, were they okay?
No, but I mean,
You don't have to answer this question, but were they any good?
no,
No.
because this was like
Trying.
this is like the. It was kind of like the basic assets. Like there was like the tutorial that you do for it. They just copy paste that. They didn't play around with it. They didn't experiment with it.
No.
Hit detection was off. It was just.
I said they're trying, and that's more than what a bunch of people could say. Like,
True. They made it to PAX South.
Well, I might have to think about us playing this game. This game is real weird.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere, though. I mean, you look back at, I suppose, all 4 of us where we first started. I mean, that's gonna be some rough stuff there.
I think the roughest thing about conventions is the leaving at the end, because you meet all your friends, you're hanging out all weekend, and then it's just like the con depression sets in.
Well, I got it twice. I had to get it twice, and I was like openly sobbing in Tampa International Airport.
Well, yeah, you were there for an extra week because of the hurricanes.
An extra 2 days.
No, it was closer to a week, I think.
No, well, I booked an extra week.
Oh, that's right. That's true.
Yeah.
So
I think I was meant to leave on the Tuesday or something, and didn't leave until like March the following year. Anyway, continue.
So yeah, the great thing about PAX South is that it's a mixture of the DKG community I'm in and also Diamond Club, because a lot of Diamond Club lives in Austin. So they came down. So it was a good mix of different people, but it was a blast. So after PAX South, I had to recover for a couple hours because I had to go to work on Monday. Then we get an ice day on Tuesday because it dipped down to 25 and it was predicted to snow and sleet. We did not get either of those. Let's see. I started playing Starfinder.
Oh.
Felix
Okay.
is doing a little game, and we.
Jealous.
And during that game, before we started, he threw up a link to the browser version of Cookie Clicker. And that has got me for the past 3 days already.
Nice.
For those at home who don't know what that is, what is it?
Cookie Clicker is
for
just
people in this call who don't know what it is.
Okay. Cookie Clicker, all you have a cookie, you keep clicking it and you get more cookies, and then you get little power-ups, like you can have grandma start cooking cookies for you. And they'll start cooking
cookies for you.
and they'll be like, and they bring up your CPS, which is cookies per second. And so at when you get to a certain point, it's just like you have the grandma's cooking, you have a cookie farm, a cookie mine, a cookie factory, the cookie bank, and they each give you more cookies automatically to the point where clicking it really doesn't give you that much anymore. It's just automation at that point. But it's just it is time waste. It's the definition of a time wasting game.
Time management game, good sir.
Let's see what else. Ooh, I know we usually talk about this on our other show, but we won't have that show for another 2 weeks. Devilman Crybaby.
How is it?
Holy shit. Berserk is tamed compared to this one.
Jeez.
It is ultra violent, ultra gore, and it's...
You watch any of the animes, Derek?
Not as much. I catch them here and there.
We have an anime podcast on here called Anime Otaku Show. It comes on every other Monday, 10 p.m. right here, twitch.tv/GeekIO show.
But yeah,
I'm looking at a picture of this guy, and he's got like 10 abs, and the hell?
Oh, Devilman? Yeah. It is not for the faint of heart because it is. Yeah, it's only 10 episodes. It's all on Netflix, and I binged it in the past 2 days.
Oh.
And like the first half, I thought, oh, there's no chill. It's going to finally slow down and then ramp up again to the end. No. The thing with like short series is that they don't have time for like filler or
there's no breaks.
That was the disappointing thing about Castlevania.
Yes. Oh my god.
Like it was started to ramp up, and then it was just like, okay, now we're ready for another season. Bye.
Yeah.
I was so sad that didn't like. I need more of this. This is amazing.
Yeah, that was a weird, like a very weird experiment that they did with Castlevania.
But they know people liked it, so we are getting a season 2 of it.
Yeah.
What was it? Only 3 episodes, but they were like an hour long each. Oh, 4.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's it from me, CJ.
Not gonna give us any more details other than I played a game. It was bad.
I mean, sure.
Raul does con recaps.
Oh, you want me to do a full? Okay.
I mean,
fine. We'll do our music break. Fine, and we'll talk to Derek. I don't need you.
Yeah, let's talk to Derek.
All right. Okay.
All right.
Well, no, I mean, to tell you the truth, listen. I'll tell you this one thing before we cut to the music. PAX South is kind of interesting because... What?
Nothing.
I spent maybe like 2 hours at the actual convention. I walked around the exhibit hall, and then that was it. Most of the time, it was just chilling with friends.
I mean, it's kind of... I mean, we did a bit more than like go to a few more things, but it's like that at Dragon Con a little bit.
Well, no, the thing with Dragon Con is that
the thing with Raul is the fact that if he doesn't have somebody like me pointing him to do things, he's just going to go wander around like a mouse and not do anything.
No.
I was going for, and your fries are done, so enjoy those.
Yeah, no. The thing with Dragon Con is that there's something going on wherever you are. The problem with like PAX South is that the panels are so, I don't want to say specific, but like kind of like spread out.
Yeah, I mean, I did 2 panels at PAX East last year, but like there's always so much going on for somebody who like me who likes to network and get to know people that like I was always doing things at PAX East. Like that's the reason why you're like, I only spent 2 hours and I walked the floor once. I'm like, what the hell? Like I was at the San Antonio Convention Center not 2 months ago now. And I know it's bigger than that.
Yeah, and PAX West has kind of gotten that way too. It looks like most of the panels are check out these Twitch streamers or check out these YouTubes and go to signings. It's less about like the major game releases or the like major game reveals. Like I remember one year, Fallout 3, they showed like the first gameplay, and now it's like, oh, go meet PewDiePie or go meet Jacksepticeye and people like that.
Not anymore. It's not go meet PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's meet like what's his name? The
Markiplier and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did you just hear that they signed what was it? Disney bought Maker or something like that?
Oof.
No, I
That
didn't.
happened a while ago.
Was it a while ago? Or that like they're actually pushing their stuff onto
that was a hot minute ago, dude. That was March 24th, 2014.
Oh, jeepers.
No, there was something else.
Disney Digital Network.
Yeah, the digital network.
Wow, welcome to
Oh,
20.
okay. No, they didn't. They made it till 2017.
Oh,
May 2017. They tried in 2014. In 2015, 2016, and they finally gave in 2016.
You one day.
That's surprising that Maker stood up for that long against the money. Disney keeps like, we want to give you money. Let us give you money.
No.
No, we don't wanna.
Whoa.
All right. So we're gonna take a quick break here. I need to rest my voice. And we're gonna listen to Jonathan Young's cover of Why Should I Worry from Oliver and Company. And we will be right back on the other edge of the show with some more conversation with Derek. And for you podcast listeners, here's some words from our sponsors. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Stay tuned.
One minute I'm in Central Park, yeah, and then I'm down on Delancey Street, yeah. From the barracks of St. Mark's, oh, there is a syncopated beat, yeah. I said, ooh, 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 ooh. But I'm streetwise, I can improvise. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, I'm street smart, but I got New York City heart. Come on, why should I worry? Tell me, why should I care? Yeah, I may not have a dime, oh, but I got streets I bustin'. Why should I worry? Tell me, why should I care? Yeah, but it's just big population, and I got streets I bustin'. Oh. The rhythm of the city, I want to get it down. Say you can own this town, you can wear the crown. Why should I worry? Tell me, why should I care? Yeah, I may not have a dime, oh, but I got streets I bustin'. Why should I worry? Tell me, why should I care? It's just a two population, and I got streets I bustin'. They love me at the Chelsea, they adore me at the Reds. Why should I worry? Tell me, why should I care? But even if I cross that line, I got streets I bustin'. Come on. I said, ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, ooh, 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 ooh. Whoa, oh, oh, oh. Come on. Sing it. Oh, 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 yeah.
All right, that was Jonathan Young's cover of "Why Should I Worry" from Oliver and Company. You can catch it right now on his YouTube channel, Jonathan Young Music, and of course on his Spotify. Oh man, love his stuff.
Did you hear the Oogie Boogie song?
Oh yeah, man, dude, I am on the two form. I get the ring a ding when he gets anything new, and I just immediately pop it open, like as soon as it gets released.
You get the ring a ding and pop it open. Okay.
You heard me, goddammit.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna.
Oliver and Company was there like Disney trying to be hip, right?
I mean, they do that a lot.
True.
I'm very confused at your. I mean, it was their Billy Joel movie as opposed to, the Phil Collins movie in Tarzan or the Elton John movie in Lion King. Like,
true.
It is just a movie that they used as a vehicle for good animation, good voice acting, and to focus an artist that is popular at the time.
Oh, wow. 88. I thought this was 90s.
98 is still
9. No, 88. 88.
98 is still 90s.
I mean, it's close enough, but no, like I said, it's focused when Billy Joel was popular, and that was definitely the 80s. So I mean, they haven't done one of those movies in a bit, where it's just like a good focus for an artist. There's nothing I can think of.
They haven't done really any music, have they?
I mean, Frozen, but I mean,
Yeah,
that was a musical, like of a focus of a entire like ensemble.
Beauty and the Beast.
It's not doing like the artist focus though. But yeah, I mean, there's that. I don't know. I kind of miss it though.
Yeah, you haven't had many like animated musicals from
No, not
anyone.
No, we're not with a single artist anyway.
Yeah, you kind of had. I mean, yeah, because you had Princess and the Frog, which was not really like separate artists making music, like I said, with like Billy Joel and Elton John and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you had Frozen, which was an actual musical. Now,
Oh. Hey, welcome to the second half of the show.
Star Wars 8, the musical, starring Kylo Ren's nipples. Did you see Star Wars 8, The Last Jedi? ATE, The Last Jedi, Derek?
I haven't had a chance to see it yet. My wife's work schedule has been like the exact opposite of mine, and she'll kill me if I go see it without her.
Oh, jeez. Beware the nipples. That's all I'm going to say.
I've heard there's multiple nipples in this to be wary of.
Yes.
Oh,
That's the reason why I'm just saying beware the nipples. It's a good thing to be afraid of in this movie.
That's an oddly specific spoiler.
Is it a spoiler though? I mean, Kylo Ren walks around shirtless. Sorry, spoiler.
I mean, sorry, I don't walk into a Star Wars movie expecting nipples. Sorry, I don't know what.
Have you seen Return of the Jedi?
Right?
No. Well, let me rephrase that. Never mind.
He walks into a Star Wars movie expecting boobs, and that's when you get C-3PO.
Fuck! See, we're not doing this. We have a guess.
So Derek, how you doing?
Good.
Having fun? Having a good time?
Oh, absolutely.
This is the part of the show where we do a survey. We've got a survey here for you now.
Who's your favorite artist out of Al Pacifico and
The Grandfather 2, Get Off My Lawn Again, will be the next artist focus.
9 out of 10, out of a scale of 10, how do you rate The Grandfather 2, Get Off My Lawn Again?
Is that the one with Walter Matthau?
And Al Pacifico.
Well done, sir. Well done. Nicely played.
I like it when our guests listen to the show and then I have to apologize for them listening to the show.
Particularly last week. Any other week is fine, but particularly last week. It's
Dale, do you remember the McFarlane episode with the kangaroo jerky
Fallen?
with Charles?
No, that was Jay
It was,
Hammond C.
yeah, it was
The
Jay
That was Jay Hammond.
Yeah.
That was the kangaroo jerking and dishwashers.
It's the reason why he hasn't been back on the show.
Oh,
Dale ate kangaroo jerky at DragonCon last year. I gave him kangaroo jerky to try.
He did.
It was jerky. It was nothing special.
It wasn't special at all.
Tried kangaroo jerky, tried alligator jerky, tried boar jerky, and all of it was just jerky.
Right.
It tasted like jerky.
I liked the boar jerky, I believe.
It was all right. I actually have Rachel got me a dehydrator for Christmas, and I'm getting a literally what's called a jerky gun. So I can't wait to make you jerky, Dale.
a jerky gun.
Did that video of me? Never mind.
Okay, you can't just leave at jerky gun. What the hell is a jerky gun?
No, it's the thing
You
where
can't leave us at jerky gun.
you
Does it look like the
shove
thing
meat
that
into
was
one-
in Austin Powers?
you shove meat into one hole and it comes out thinner on the other side.
Story of our relationship. Wait, what?
No, it's weird. It's like you put ground meat into one end of the little gun and it presses it flat and to like a proper jerky length, and you put that in the dehydrator. And you can do like you can put like the ground meat, and you can make like mix other things into it like garlic and stuff like that to actually give different flavors.
Oh, it looks like a cock gun.
Yeah, exactly. A caulk gun.
Yes.
Caulk gun. Drink.
Okay.
Not a cock gun, Raul.
This first
Different kind of
sentence.
meat.
Well done. Sorry, Josh, you've been replaced.
I like that kind of gun better. But the first sentence on Wikipedia for jerky has tickled my fancy. Jerky is a lean meat. Wow. A lean meat that has been trimmed of fat, cut into strips, then dried to prevent spoilage. I just like the word spoilage. Don't know why.
That's when you tell somebody what happens at the end of Star Wars 8: The Last Jedi. I call it that because in my head, Daryl keeps writing it in Star Wars ATE: The Last Jedi, and so like now I just have to call it Star Wars 8: The Last Jedi. Like unlike Force Awakens and Empire Strikes Back and stuff like that. No, this one just has to be Star Wars 8: The Last Jedi for me forever. Thanks, Daryl.
The Last Jedi.
So Derek, you host a podcast.
I do.
Tell us a little bit about that and yourself and all that good jazz.
All right, so the Sometimes Geek Podcast has been going on for almost 2 years now. It started off as your standard two guys talking about video games and not being funny. And then probably about 8 months into it, my co-host had some stuff coming up. He just couldn't be around anymore. And then I realized that trying to still be funny and trying to go like a full hour length by myself was nearly impossible. So I basically used the title of it as an inspiration to change up the format. So being Sometimes Geek, with the idea that we couldn't be geeks all the time because we had jobs, we had families, responsibilities. Basically, I was swapping to a short format saying, why don't I just cover gaming headlines, give quick reviews as an alternative for people that do have lives outside of gaming, that have jobs, wives, families, yada, yada, yada. Let's give them a little 15, 20-minute recap to cover the major gaming news without spending the hours that I was spending on websites to gather all of it.
That's fair. That's actually a really good premise.
Huh.
To say as if I am not subscribed to the podcast.
Oh.
And then I actually just recently launched a new series because there are people that want the longer form podcasts. I listen to all sorts of different lengths of podcasts myself, so I understand that. So I just launched the Sometimes Geek Levels Up series, which the main idea behind it is to either do deep dives onto topics that I want to have a guest on to kind of bounce stuff back and forth, as well as to look at a behind the scenes of gaming fandom. So things like cosplay, Twitch streaming, YouTube, Let's Plays, with people that are already doing that, like if that's their hobby, their career, to give us kind of an insight for those of us that watch these videos and have no real clue what goes into it.
That's awesome. I am not subscribed to that one.
It's all through the same feed. It's all Sometimes Geek Podcast. They're just titled differently.
Hold on. Oh, it is. Jesus.
Yeah.
No, I listen to all my stuff through Pocket Casts, and every so often it will just give one, and I just completely ignore the rest.
Well,
no, that is the reason why I missed that one, and I'm going to. I apologize. I am a bad host.
So is Sometimes Geek your first podcast?
It is. It actually started out with myself and my friend Drew. We had kind of kicked around the idea of doing some YouTube video, Let's Play stuff, Twitch streaming, and we realized that we were pretty bad at that. But along with it, we would just we would both get off work about the same time, hop on Minecraft or Halo or Overwatch, whatever we were playing, and we would just chat like once a week, catching up on gaming news, geek culture in general, movies, TV, what have you. And we were just making each other laugh. And we're like, you know what? If we find this funny, someone else will find it funny. So we just kind of sat down. I basically drug him onto his Skype calls and started saying, okay, let's just have this conversation now. And we knocked out a handful of episodes about that. Didn't really know what we were doing podcasting or what topics, what our main theme was. So that's why the Sometimes Geek Podcast, because we didn't set a specific topic or genre. And then, once that kind of fell out, I struggled with it for a while, thinking this might be the end of Sometimes Geek, but I was still enjoying it. I hadn't really gotten big into any of the podcasting community stuff. And once I kind of turned it around, I got a pretty good response as far as listeners and stuff like that. Instead of being like the 4 a week I was doing for months, it jumped up to like 10 and 15 and stuff like that. And so that's where I finally knew that I was kind of tapping into something that was different and unique. And since then I've enjoyed doing it.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. It's definitely hard. Having to change a show from what it used to be, is I found that the hard way too with a show that I do on this network, the generic live show. And I just find it over time it evolved because I just had so much to talk about. I suppose the opposite, but it was always a solo show. But it kind of, I find it like the more like the audience grew and the more I had to kind of cater to that audience kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for me, like talking about things like basically into the ether, just staring at my notes and trying to keep it off the cuff, it kind of evolved into these would be the conversations I would have with a friend. Like if someone were to come up and ask me, oh, what do you think of E3 this year? Or what do you think of the Nintendo Switch? To then go off on, a 5-minute, 10-minute rant about it and be like, okay, this is what I think about it, keeping it quick and concise, and then moving on to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a pretty similar thing where we started off as a tech-based podcast, like full-blown, just whole hog, just tech headlines, everything like that. And
a total sausage party.
Rachel appeared.
Hey, no, here's our
stream. Rachel.
Cocked gun beef jerky extraordinaire. It's Rachel.
No, see, you brought this upon yourself, CJ, because I'm sitting here all nice and quiet, and all of a sudden here, I'm gonna pack some meat into a gun. And I was like, what is he talking about?
Exactly what
so
I'm
hi
talking
guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Derek, this is my wife, Rachel. Rachel, this is Derek, the Sometimes Geek.
Can we do that on this show? Just to have like random people meet up and just have us in the middle.
I mean, I could open up the phone lines if we ever get a decent like.
See, that could get dangerous.
I mean, I had the Geek Hotline. All I have to do is open up the Google Voice application for it, and the Geek Hotline goes live.
Hey guys, you know why I've been quiet for the past like 5 minutes?
Because Rachel's been on and you've been setting it up.
Yes, because I've been doing that.
Yeah, see, this
My
is
computer's
the
over
other thing that I
here.
heard.
Well, my computer's over here.
Raul's to conventions, and nothing gets done. You know why? Because at conventions, there's pretty girls, and there's pretty girls, and Raul kind of goes, "Oh shit."
I have no comment.
I do.
Dale, do I need to get harder for you?
That would never get old.
Still reminds me of Raul's first year at Dragon Con with.
I think he's gonna start matching his shirt in a second.
Oh yeah.
Back pedal.
So, like, other than that, what's your inspiration with continuing on podcasting?
I don't know. It's one of those things. It became kind of a creative outlet for me. Prior to doing a podcast, I did a lot of freelance photography, and I was terrible at marketing myself, being just a general nerd, an introvert, that I would go out and do photo shoots and stuff here and there. But when you're terrible at marketing yourself and you have kind of that Seattle passive-aggressive culture of not telling people that you don't want to do something, just not showing up to it, that kind of got to me after a while. And with podcasting, it's one of those things that, especially now that it's self-hosted, it's something that I have to do for me. Like, if I want an episode to come out, I have to sit down and get it out. No one else is going to do it. I don't have to rely on somebody else to get it out there for me. And so it's just kind of become my substitute for my creative outlet. Like I said, just coming up with topic ideas for the new series, or giving me an excuse to play games I might not normally play.
Like penis jousting or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, genital jousting.
Genital jousting.
That was that was actually on the show.
No, that was on the show. I purposely held that one for the show. I did that one on purpose, good sir. You do not undersell genital jousting.
This is a game I'm curious about
now. That's right. Rachel hasn't been here like the entire when I was
actually being a good girl and doing like my work for work tomorrow, because I have a beautiful, lovely student that I will hopefully be sending to a different school. Yay! So I was being, dutiful teacher, following up on things and writing things up, and come back to, meeting a gun and now genital joust. I missed a good fun.
There you go, Rachel. There's your next.
You're in this office too and grinding the gears. Meanwhile, your husband's sitting in office one going, penis jousting.
I'm feeling left out. This is not fair.
This is our relationship. She is the adult and I'm the moron in here screaming at the internet. By the way, that's my podcasting world.
Well, I know what game we're playing at DragonCon next year.
Goddamn right. I want to see if Charles will let his live stream us playing genital jousting at Dragon Con.
Anyway,
he'll be on here in a couple of weeks.
We'll get kicked out of Dragon Con so fast.
Dude, if Penis has got us kicked out of Dragon Con, nobody would be going.
I think this is just a great opportunity for a new cosplay.
No, I am not cosplaying.
Scale cosplay.
I'm not cosplaying this.
TJ, I already know I need spandex for Dale. What do I need for you?
There you go. I know. Oh, I didn't know how else.
Like, oh shit, I'm in trouble.
Sit this here. Oh no! Hang on, I can fix this. Hang on. No, we're doing this.
I can fix this. He says.
Drinking from my sippy cup.
Oh my god.
Got a sippy cup?
So, God, Okay,
but anyway, I understand. So, Derek, I understand the concept of podcasts being this thing where you're not necessarily relying on a person to get it out, particularly a solo show. How do you find like prepping and that sort of stuff as well? Like trying to find the motivation to, because sometimes I get in the rut where it's like I have to not only do the show myself, but also help like prep the show as well.
So for me, my prep is pretty much what I was doing anyway, like popping up all the different news sites, playing a bunch of different video games. So that side of it's not that bad. As far as the motivation to get the episodes out is just the listener interaction I have with just a handful of the people that check out the show. The people that will hit me up on Twitter or whatever, say, hey, I checked this out, and what do you think about this? And making those bonds, especially as someone who's very introverted and kind of a homebody, was a huge motivation to keep it going. Just having a chance to meet some really cool people has been awesome, and it just keeps me doing the episodes.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice. I still find it weird that I have quote unquote fans. I find it really weird.
Well, one of the most vocal fans I have, and he will probably listen to this episode, is Charles from the Something Random podcast, who I credit him as one of the people who saved my show because I was ready to stop when I met him, and it came down to, hey, let's do some cross promotion, and having somebody else out there show that they were really big fans of the show, and to kind of market it on his own show or tell his friends about it was kind of a new experience to me and was really cool to see. So much so that like we chat all the time about different video games, and I actually just recently had him on the first episode of Sometimes Geek Levels Up because of the fact that we just interacted. We both enjoy each other's shows.
Right.
I've asked my couple of questions. With the cold meds starting to kick in and stuff, I'm like, yeah, those are pretty.
So, what kind of release schedule do you work on?
So I try to record a release on the same day, which unfortunately doesn't give me a back catalog at all. And that's mainly because all of my topics are time sensitive. So I pretty much, as soon as I get home from work on Tuesday afternoon, I will sit down, kind of write out my notes based on the stories I've been reading all week and stories I know that I want to cover, just highlight bullet point stuff. I'll knock out an episode, which, because it's a shorter format, usually takes like 40 minutes to put out, a 15, 20-minute episode. Export it, throw it up, do all the social media stuff, and pretty much, yeah, it gets released right then. With the Sometimes Geek Levels Up series, that one is a bit more in depth than I'm used to, just for the fact that I have multiple tracks. It's not just me, and tacking music on the front and tail end of it. So I think that one, because I had 4 guests on it and I did all the audio editing myself, that one took probably about 3 hours for an hour-long show.
Mm-hmm.
But with that series, I'm trying to keep it down to like a 2-week release schedule, just so I can hop back and forth between guests for geek topics and guests for video game discussion. So I can kind of hop in between that style. So with that kind of lets me spread out my editing versus the rush to get something out on Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, and the editing part, it's just like lots of YouTube.
That trial and error and presets.
Yes.
Yeah, presets are the best thing to ever happen to human nature.
Right.
Well, and for the longest time, I didn't even really edit all that much. Like when it was me and my co-host, I basically double-ended the call from Skype through my own audio. So it would just record as one track. So it was like, okay, normalize it and then hope it's good and put it out there.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, there was a lot of bad episodes.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, okay, even my editing now is not all that bad, just because recording by myself, I will start to do my intro And if I start flubbing stuff or stumbling over words, I'll just scrap it and start over. Or if I'm in the middle of saying something, if I screw up there, I'll just stop, retake it, delete it right then, versus listening to, 2 hours of myself ramble and try to pick out the good bits and make them fit together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I edit our role-playing game, which we on weekends we do like 3 or 4 episodes of it. On a good night we do 4 episodes, and that one's a little bit difficult to actually edit because it's like I gotta listen to the entire thing. But for like live stuff, I just make note of our breaks and I just export. I cut off the beginning, cut off the end where there's no show, and export the video. Export the audio.
Yeah, and that's kind of the approach I've taken to my show in general, is that I want it to be just a very laid-back casual. I don't want it to come across as scripted. It's meant to be that conversation you would have with a friend.
Yeah, which I find those podcasts enjoyable. Because, I mean, I don't listen to very many podcasts now as much as I used to because work and all that stuff. Because they don't really like it when I got a earpiece in my ear most of the time.
Yeah, I get lucky with my job. I've actually started listening to more. Part of that was moving further away from work, so I have a commute now. But then any time that I get to sit at my desk and I have to do spreadsheet work or, filling out a whole bunch of forms, it's like, okay, you guys can bother me and interrupt me, and that's fine. I'll pause my podcast. But if I'm just sitting here by myself, I'm not going to listen to white noise. I will listen to a podcast, and thankfully they haven't complained too much about that.
As long as you can still hear them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, or at least don't ignore them when they tap you on the shoulder or something like that. Like,
and some of them I probably should, but
oh yeah, yeah,
real fast.
Work in IT, yeah, it's a matter of fine. I will listen to you, even though I really fucking don't want to.
And customer service representatives, you can just block them out, right?
Yeah.
See, I work with maintenance guys, not as a maintenance technician. So it's a lot of hammering and saws and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, yeah, let's drown this out, and then nobody blames me for it.
Right, that's fair.
Anything else for Derek? So we can maybe wrap up?
Anything else you want to pimp out?
Yeah, let us know where people can find you at online, Patreon, or anything like that.
Yeah, so all of the episodes can be found at sometimesgeek.com. That is the Sometimes Geek podcast, as well as Sometimes Geek Levels Up. I do push out the more current episodes to Stitcher, Podbean, Google Play, iTunes, Spotify, pretty much anywhere you're already listening to podcasts. But if you want to dig into the older episodes and find out just how terrible they were, make sure you go to sometimesgeek.com. I'm also on Twitter at sometimesgeek, as well as a kind of a show update page at facebook.com/sometimesgeek. And if anyone wants to email me either for guest spots on Sometimes Geek Levels Up or suggestions for topics you guys want me to cover, stuff like that, you can shoot me an email, sometimesgeek@gmail.com.
Excellent. All right. Let's go ahead and do the last bits of stuff that I do. It's just stuff and the things.
And things as he scrolls to the correct part of the show. Are you there?
I have the notes open. Please. What do you think I am, Raul? You can listen to the show live Thursday. I could do this in my sleep, dude. You listen to the show live Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, Fridays at 1 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/GeekIO Show. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do so. GeekIOShow@gmail.com. Twitter and Facebook are all /GeekIO Show. Pretty much all the social medias are that. Or you can give us a call on the Geek Hotline, 727-489-4335. That is 727-489-GEEK. Remember, you can support the show and everything that we do on the Geek IO network over at patreon.com/GeekIO. Also, fuck you for calling my bluff. Haha, nailed it, bitch. Who you think I am? You?
That's real.
Hey, Dale.
Hey, CJ. Next week on the Geek IO show, Bryce Castillo from Night Attack joins us once again on the show, where he will continue to roast me about Magic Carp Jump. Fuck you! I'm not reading what you put in there.
We'll make him play our fun and games.
We'll make him play our fun and games. I emphasize the
You should do a thing for next week so we can get prizes.
Games.
Speaking of games,
now it's time for the Geek IO Winter Movie Smackdown Update.
All right. Shake-up week, because there always is one. I apparently had a movie called Extinction, and it got bumped back. So nothing else is really being released. So I picked this movie called Winchester, the house that ghosts built, I guess.
Because Dale wouldn't let you pick Peter Rabbit, which apparently you already had.
Yeah. No, I asked for Peter Repeat or whatever it was. What do I call it? Peter Reboot. I wanted Peter Reboot. And Carrie, coming to really nobody's surprise, the 2017 Cloverfield movie that was being released in 2018 will maybe come out sometime in 2019. We kind of knew this was going to happen, with it still being called the 2017 Cloverfield movie. There was no fucking way this movie was getting.
There was no way that was going to be there.
She's taken 1517 to Paris, which is, I guess, related to 312 to Yuma or whatever it is. I don't know.
Oh,
ending the runs this week, rolls Insidious, Constantaneous, Drake.
Constantaneous, the last.
Entering the second week is Proud Mary, Carrie's wild card, Taken on a Train from Budlong, and Paddington 2 for myself. And opening this week, Raoul has Den of Thieves, which is the one with Robin Hood in it, right?
I don't know. It sounded like Den of Thieves, the video game.
And costed you $6. So
and nothing has changed. Jeff, Jared, Carrie, Raoul, Josh, me.
Pretty much.
So I need Den of Thieves to make like 600 million.
Yeah, that's absolutely gonna happen.
That's so gonna happen. You might get bumped to the.
Look what American Sniper did.
Yes, remember American Sniper? We call this the flashback episode. Hey, Ra, what have we got going on?
Okay, what we've got going on this week. CJ is still on the Generic Live show, and the boys look into Generic Live Crystal Ball and predict what will happen in 2018.
Yeah, we do.
Right now at Generic Live Home, for a very limited time only, you can pick up Be Dumb, Be a Good Husband shirt. So hurry. They're only available until January 29th at geek-io.net/generic live home. This week in the Mana Pool, the party learns a little bit more about their companions. They make a disguise for their giant robot Remy. And the party actually arrives at the city of Tovara.
Yeah, they do.
And Kai tries to pee on everything. Cuphead released CJ's inner swearingness on Liquid Handicap.
Inner?
Yes, inner. What the fuck are you talking about, Dale?
Oh, hang on. No.
Dale, you forget. I'm the one with the potty mouth.
Oh, that's right. How can I?
I'm trained well by my students.
That's right. CJ's all about the meat sticks.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, but students are just pure little angels, aren't they, kids?
They are the sweetest angels with the sweetest, most eclectic vocabularistics that you would ever hear.
Yeah, that. Oh, man. So, As always, you can go over to geekioshow.showbot.tv for our show title candidates. And Rachel, why don't you head on over to geekioshow.showbot.tv and let us know what show titles we have that people can vote on.
Seriously, I pop on, you're going to make me work now?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't even here for the fun stuff.
Bruh.
We have All About the Meat Sticks. Keep calm and do that. Sipping on my juice box. Plot twist, always a geek. That dick just got hit by a car. Where's the sports department? Yeah. Science? Now for Sportsdale. Yes, I purposely put the comma in a different spot.
Yeah, I figured as much.
It's not Missouri or something. Keep working.
Keep working.
Don't.
No, there's a question mark, not a period. It's not a statement. That is a question.
Nope.
Or an exclamation point.
Zippy box. Next on, why is your website so bad? LA Whatchahoozy? Raoul plus plus equals negative Dale win. Cooking cookies for you. 98 is still in the 90s. You can't leave us a jerky gun. Oh, sorry, leave us at jerky gun. And hang on, I can fix this.
I kinda like you can't leave us a jerky gun.
Evan, yeah. Oh, that one took up. All right, show title. You can't leave us a jerky gun.
You can't leave us a jerky gun.
But you know what I can leave us at? This show.
Water buffalo. So
yes.
You can leave us.
We'll leave us at Water Buffalo. All right, guys. Derek, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Greatly appreciate it, good sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Thank you.
And we will be back here next week, where Dale forces Bryce to play his games. Bye.
Bye. Thank you again.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Water Buffalo, and I hope you've enjoyed this Geek I Media Network production. Copyright 2018. You see how that works?
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.